That'll be. Oh, shkoyach. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu she'akolim b'dvaroi.
Put a sign up for the 8-minute daf.
Where?
It's back camera.
Is it backwards?
Yeah, it's back.
It's showing me coming to the.
It's a different share.
There we go.
Now everybody's gonna know that we only have 10 people. Oh. Okay. Fine. Zok the Mishnah. We're holding today's Daf Chof, bottom Daf Yutes on Beis. Seems on Yom Kippur. We have to see what to do on Yom Kippur. Perhaps we will have a shir on Motzei Yom Kippur. We have to learn every day. Every day we're going to learn. No. Chas v'shalom. On Yom Kippur. On Yom Kippur. Yeah. All right. Says the Mishnah, Notal even oy koira shel hagdish. A person removed a stone or Shalom Aleichem. Boys, I have a chart. We just have to stop. Our boys say, hold on, I have to make a. We just started. Shalom Aleichem. Hug. Very nice to finally meet you. Wow. Bernard is from England. He started a whole chabura, a whole following in England that follows the daf. How many people do we have today in England?
We got 2 new ones last week, so we've got 11 chabura.
How many? 11 in your chabura. 11. All right. So here's the chart for Rabbi Bernard. Rabbi David. Here. Ota Azor. All right. Roish Chaburish Manchester Daf. Pretty soon you'll have more people than us. Be'ez Hashem. All right, so we're starting the Mishnah, Daf Yutes on Beis. Yeah. Listen, when you reach a certain amount, when you reach 30, with Be'ez Hashem, we'll have to build you a little building. What?
That building has it's huge.
Oh, they already have a huge building. Okay. Well, we could just take this building, break it down to pieces as it came, and build us a new one. Zok the Mishnah, Notal even oy koira shel hagdish. Person goes into Beis Hamikdash and takes out a stone or a beam. Harei ziloi mal. No Meilah. Why not? Why is there no Meilah? He removed a stone from Hegdish. He removed the beam from Hegdish. The Gemara is going to explain because we're talking about one type of individual, a gizbar. And Meilah, the gizbar, he's allowed to do whatever he wants as long as it's good for Hegdish. Then says the Mishnah, he took that stone beam and he gave it to his friend who mal v'chaverei lo mal. So the concept in Hegdish always is that if you take something, let's say you have money from Hegdish and you go to the store and you buy something, who's Meilah? The person giving the money, not the person receiving the money. Over here, the person receiving the stone is not the one that's Meilah, it's the person giving the stone. So once he gave it to his friend, now it became Meilah. There's no Meilah from Shinu Rishus. Typically, there's Meilah once you remove something from Hegdish, you are Meilah. But since he's the Gizbar, there's no Meilah. His Meilah occurs when he gives it to his friend.
So in other words, even if his intention was to...
Right, but he has different rules. Right? He plays with different rules. Because he's allowed to move things around. So there's no...
There's no Havamina is not allowed to move.
Right. So even though he took it out,
but he took it out with
and he gave it to somebody, and he
of giving it. So he's not Moed.
Right, because if somebody took it out by mistake, we're talking about by mistake, then there's Meilah without giving it to his friend.
When he gave it to his friend, it's still Kaddish?
Whoa, what do you mean? Once it hits the friend, no.
Once his friend holds it?
Yeah.
Why? What made it change?
Then it went and transferred Rishus. Then it transferred Rishus.
But there was no use. No one used it.
No, it doesn't have to. There's also Shinu Rishus. There's a thing called Shinu Rishus in Hegdish too. We were learning up until now Hana and depreciating it, but there's also Shinu Rishus. Don't forget about Shinu Rishus. Shinu Rishus doesn't apply to the Gizbar. B'na b'toich beisai. He took this beam, he took this stone, and he built it into his house. Harei zelei mal. Did you guys meet already? You met Yeshua, the famous Yeshua. B'na b'toich beisai. If he built it into his home, harei zelei mal ad sheyodu tachteh b'shaveh pruta. There's no Meilah until he lives underneath it. Or if it gave him hana for a pruta. How did he give him hana? It kept the rain out. It kept the rain outside of the house. B'shaveh pruta. So Meilah, he's over Meilah. Not a pruta shel hegdish. What's going on? What happened? Not a pruta shel hegdish. Harei zelei mal. So again, we're talking about the gizbar. The gizbar takes a pruta of hegdish. There's no Meilah. The same thing as a stone. Same halach applies to money. Once he gives it to his friend, there's Meilah. Humal v'chaveroi lemal. Nisan lebalon. We have this word in Hebrew. They use it today. It's the mikveh person. So the balon is the guy in charge of the bathhouse. He takes the money. So once you give it to the guy that takes the money, here the chiddush is afapi sheloi rochatz mal. Even though he didn't receive the benefit yet, he paid the balon in order to go into the mikvah, into the bathhouse, but he didn't use the bathhouse, he didn't take a shower yet. It's still Meilah. Because the balon tells him, he can't look, it's open whenever you want, go in. I don't owe you anything because you can just go in whenever you want. These halachas we learned already 2 days ago. It's a very interesting halacha, but we learned it. If a person eats a half a shear, a half a kazayis, and he forced his friend to eat the other half, he fed his friend or he told him take it, he benefited a half a pruta, his friend benefited a half a pruta. He ate a half a pruta, and his friend benefited a half a pruta. Everything mitzarfim zeh v'afilus mamruba, and that was the chiddush then, that even though you took a half a pruta today, your friend took it 3 years later, it combines for one Isser Meilah.
Is there a statute of limitation?
No.
If he says one
What's-
evening, he just saying 3 years. He doesn't
3 years.
go so far.
Yeah, it's very far. Yeah, but the Mafar says Shalish Shanim.
3 years.
Yeah. I said 3 years because the Rishonim say that Lashon, but it means 100 years also.
But it has to be with one halama.
One halama, of course, one halama. It has to be. You didn't realize in between that you were moil. So the Gemara just explains what we discussed already, because the Mishnah starts off saying that if he took out the beam, he's not over. But if he gave it to his friend, he's over. We must explain the entire Mishnah as we did. We're talking about the Gizbar, and he's allowed to. He has a special chiddush that he's allowed to use the hegdish. He deals with hegdish. He moves hegdish around, so he's only over once he gives it to somebody else. If he built it into his house, he's not chayiv until he has another pruta. Asked the Gemara, how did he put it into his house? Even if he changed the stone slightly, he cut the stone a little bit, he notched out a little notch to put it in. Once you mishan it, then it becomes yours. The Gemara could have just said it wasn't mishan, but okay, the Gemara understood that if you're building a place, you take a hammer, you go like this, you go like that, you put a nail into it, you mishan it. Amarav kigoyin shenichal pi aruba. So if there's irreversible damage, a little notch, then it becomes yours. But what happened was, he had a skylight. He wanted to cover the skylight, so he put it on top of the skylight. Explain Tosfos, but what happened? Well, he didn't just put it on top of the skylight. He cemented it in really nicely into the skylight. But he didn't change the stone. If you want to move the stone, if you want to break it out, you could break it and give it right back to Hegdish. V'kivin the banilo mias mal. So what do you see from here? That if he did build it, if he did notch it out, so what happened? He made a little notch, and he put it into his house. There was Meilah. What is this concept called? This concept is called Talush L'Basoif Chibroi. You had a stone that's not attached to the ground, and then you take it and you attach it to your house, then it becomes mechuber lekarka. And now we have a different question. What is the halacha status of something that's attached to the ground? As we're going to see, if a person has a cave house, a man cave, he took a cave and he built a house into the cave. He just put a front door, now it became his house. You cannot do avodah zarah, you can't be moyel, you can't do anything with it. It's part of the ground. Over here it says that you are moyel. Why? Because at one point in time, this stone was not mechuber lekarka. It was tolish. It was a movable object, and now you made it not a non-movable object. So what's the halacha status of that item? It seems from here that tolush ulebesayv chibroi is like tolush, because it says in our Gemara, it says in our Mishnah, that the reason why there's no Meilah, the reason why there is Meilah, what did he do here? He put it on top of his aruba. That's why there's no Meilah. But if he changed it, he notched it out, there would be Meilah. Why? It's mechuber lekarka. You see that something that was tolush and then became mechuber, there is Meilah. So that would be a right to Rav. If you bow, you do avodah zarah to a house, you make the house asur. Why? Because Rav holds that house once upon a time was tolush and became mechuber afterwards. So Meilah, I'm able to asur the house. Really, we have to say be'emes. Something that's tolush and then became mechuber is like a mechuber. And in fact, Rav is wrong. There's no raya to Rav. Why over here do we say there is Meilah? Because by Meilah the Torah says you can't see it physically. And everybody sees that you covered your skylight. It's very, very visible. Meilah it's asur. Some Rishonim want to taina that it's a derabanan. It's something, it looks like you're having an asur. Meilah it's asur. But let's assume it's not derabanan. So Meilah is different than avodah zarah. It's hana haniris leinayim. That's what the Torah asur Torah. It says mefurish asur Torah. It's a deraisa. Leime misayele, but other Rishonim say it means the Rabbanah. Leime misayele. But perhaps you do have a right to Rav. That what? That's something that was not attached to the ground, then became attached to the ground. I could answer it. It's not considered mechuber. Hadar b'bayis shel hegdesh. If somebody lives in a house of hegdesh, kivin shenehena mimeno ma. What's going on here? How could a person have a no from a house that's mechuber lekarka? How could you be oivra Meilah? You can't be. We learned, right? Where was it? We had that sugya, just remembering. We just had last week. A guy went into the field and the Gemara says, oh, how did he have a no? He went and he took his beans and he separated the peel of the bean. And the Gemara says, you were moil. It's karka, you can't be moil in a karka. So what did the Gemara answer?
Dust.
The dust, very good. The dust. Meaning that from the karka itself, you can't be moil. So how's he moil from the house? The house is mechuber, it's no different than the karka.
Because it was once movable.
Oh.
Object.
So it seems like Rav is right. That because it was once movable, so Meilah, it's like tolish right now. It's not considered mechuber lekarka. Omer shlokish no. Hasam b'shegdishoy v'lebesoyv b'noi. What happened was that those stones were kaddish. They had kedusha. What happens to the stone that's kaddish and you build with it? You can't remove the kedusha. How are you going to remove the kedusha? Kedusha leichan azla. Once something is kaddish, it remains kaddish. So he was magdish it, and then he built it. Oh, so what's the kash here that Taisus discusses? Why don't we just say what we said a second ago? Hana haniris leinayim asur Torah. What greater nearest leinayim is there than a giant structure standing right in front of everybody's face? A guy built a house, so the whole thing is hana nearest leinayim. It's near leinayim, and Meilah, that's the Isur Meilah. He says Tosfos, and it's the last line in Tosfos. You want to see it on the last line in this parak. Basically, Tosfos has a big aside here that it's a combination of two things. It's pshat in the Gemara. What Tosfos is saying, you need the combination of two things. You need first of all what the Gemara just answered now, Benoy, that he was magdish it and then he built it. If you have that, then you have anah nearest leinayim. You can't have.
Oh, this is also going to be on low than this one.
Donate. You can donate.
Lefi all the complaints that we're having, mistama it is. Otherwise, people wouldn't complain. If it was a disgusting thing, nobody would say anything.
So it's nearest line 9, that's for sure.
Oh. Yeah. We have to be magdish it and then build it. You know, the Vilna Gaon says, I just remember, the Vilna Gaon says that if you would be magdish the kli that you build the shul from, the shovel would be done bigdusha, and every kli that you built from and every saw, then it would be a shul that can never be destroyed. No? Nobody heard that going? We once had it. Fine. Ask the Gemara, according to what you're telling me, that if you must have step one. Step one is take every stone before it goes into the building and be magdish it. It's mashma that if you built it without being magdish it, only afterwards, loimal. Oh, right? This is a lashon from Meilah. I don't know if these I have to look it up, but we had this lashon once or twice before in this Masechta. Why why is he running and telling us the brisa over there tells us a case at the end of the brisa that we didn't have yet? If a person lives in the man cave, there's no Meilah. Why run to a cave? It's a much nicer chiddush. It's a much better chiddush. A person built a house and there's no Meilah. How? Case number one is that he was magdish the stones and then he built a house, so there is Meilah. Case number two, he built the house and there's no Meilah. Why? Because he wasn't magdish the stones. Oh, right? It's a better chiddush than telling me a cave that nobody ever built. It's part of the ground. No. Okay, so over there's no Meilah. I'm telling you, even if I buy stones from a store and I build a house, there's no Meilah. Amri, I wanted to say a case of a cave that there's no shaila, there's never ever Meilah, rather than tell you a case of a house that's confusing. Sometimes there's Meilah, sometimes there's no Meilah. Hadrun aloch hanehene. So we have the very unique halacha in Meilah that yesh shliach l'dvar aveira, a one-time halacha that I could tell you to go into the Beis Hamikdash and take something, and you listen to me, and you don't say Divrei Arav, Divrei Atam, Divrei Mishayimim. You take it out, I get the Aveira. There's nowhere else in the Torah where I tell you to do something wrong, and you do it, and I get the Aveira. If you do exactly what the sender, the Mishaleach, the Balabais tells you to do, Balabais, small. So again, we're talking about over here, we're discussing again the Gizbar guy. If the guy didn't do exactly what he was told, Hashaliach mal. The Shliach was over. Keitzad. You know, every good couple has their arguments. So I, Baruch Hashem, have my argument with my wife. I made a bar mitzvah 4 years ago, and since then we argue. The caterer said that in Eretz Yisrael everybody likes liver. So I said, yeah, we'll put liver. He said, there's no charge. You're paying a set fee. You put liver on the table. So I told my wife. She said, no, there's not going to be liver in my bar mitzvah. No liver. I said, but it's free. It's part of. No, not in my. I don't like liver. I'm not putting liver in my bar mitzvah. So we have this argument. I said, was it the right thing to do? Not the right thing. You're getting something for free. Other people enjoy it. Who cares if you like it or not? No, you have to only serve things in your simcha that you like. And I don't like liver. What? So Kitzur, I saw this Gemara. I started getting excited because it said liver. What?
We know who won the argument.
Well, today she finally won. Today she won the argument. I thought I was the big chacham. Every time a guest came, I said, "No, what do you say?" And everybody would say, "Yeah, he's right." And Lois said, "She's right." But I started out the sugya, and then I got mamish a checkmate. You're gonna see checkmate. There's no out of this, but I hope she doesn't find out. I'm not going to let her know about this. Nobody tell her about this shir. Omar Loi.
She doesn't listen?
She listened to the first 5 minutes. What time? No, she's not this part. Omar Loi tein basel archim v'nasalim kaved. You tell the shliach, go steal from Beis Hamikdash by mistake. It's all a mistake. Go take some meat and give it to the guests. What did he do? Nasalem kaved. He gave liver. So first of all, I wanted to say, oh, it's a raya that people like liver. Look, he gave liver. So no. Oh, so that's the whole sugya, and it's worse than that. It gets very bad for me. It's not mishana for anything. It's mishana. Mishana is no good because you have to do shlichusai. He tells you meat, you have to do meat. Is liver meat or not? Zok the Mishnah. Tein basal archim and asalem kaved.
You're talking about color of oak.
No. Yeah, in Israel it's oif, but you're saying it's different. Like plug. Trust me, when she sees any of that liver.
Last time you didn't have any coverage. You won. That was it.
Right, but
Finished.
it's an argument. It's tam in the Welt. Baruch Hashem, those are our arguments. We don't have any other. That's the one argument. Naslaim kaved. Kaved v'naslaim basar. He says give liver. So the are mishugayim out there that serve their guests liver. V'naslaim basar. And he gives them, instead of liver, he gives them meat. Is meat kaved? Is not. And it's a famous sugi if a guy says vegetables, not vegetables. We're going to have it in a second. Hashaliach ma, because the shliach didn't do what he was told to do. He said serve steak and he gave them liver. No good. So Meilah, who's over on the Meilah? The shliach. The only time shliach, yesh shliach l'dvar ve'er, if he does exactly what he's told to do.
Only by Meilah.
Only by Meilah. Omar loy tein lohem chaticha chaticha. The owner says, the gizbar says to the shliach, give them one piece. V'oimer tlushtayim. And this mechutzav, he says, listen, once we're taking, let's take everything. He says, let's be large. Take two. V'heim natu shalosh. They hear the whole conversation. The guy says, give one. He says, give two. So they say, if we're going to add, let's just add three. Let's take three. Kula malu. It's very interesting. The shliach did his shlichus. How did he do his shlichus? He gave them one. But they did their shlichus by taking the second one. So then the shliach was mile in it. Again, Ruvain tells Shimon, give them one. So if Shimon listens to Ruvain, then Ruvain was mile on the first piece. So on the first piece, Ruvain was mile. Ruvain tells the guest, take two pieces. He added one. So when they take three, or they take the second piece, the shliach was over on Meilah them because he told them to take it. They listened to him. They become like his shluchim. And then when they stole the third piece, now they were over. So each one was over one aveira of Meilah. Very interesting. Yeah, they're all shogeg. They all think it's private meat. It's privately owned. He has a nice fridge. He's the gizber. He's in charge. It happens, like he works in the Beis Hamikdash, and sometimes the packages get mixed up. He took 5 pounds of liver from the Beis Hamikdash instead of his own. Zok the Gemara, Daf Chofam and Beis. Man tano de kol milsa de mimlach alo shliach tarte milei havion. If you send out your shliach to buy meat, and he goes out and he cannot find meat, and he makes a phone call. He says, Rabbi, I cannot find what you sent me. Can I buy liver? The fact that he's making that phone call, does that mean that it's a different thing? And he should make that phone call, so it's different, right? So today, if somebody, you say, go buy me a number 5, whatever that is, I know here in Israel, go buy me a shoulder. I never bought a number 5, but there's such a shoulder. 5 is shoulder, give out. Go buy me shoulder. Obviously, if there's no shoulder, the guy's going to make a phone call. Your kid is going to call you up. There's no shoulder. Should I buy liver? He's not going to make the mistake and stop buy liver when you send him out for that. So in Meilah, it's two separate things. It's not like Rebbe Kiva. This na anoidim in ayorek muter bedluin. Rabbi say it's unbelievable. It's mamish hagufa de mechulikin. Rebbe Kiva tain is the exact opposite. If your kid is going to call you up and say there's no shoulder, should I buy liver? What does that tell me? That liver is like shoulder. Because your kid is not going to call you up and say, hey, there's no shoulder, should I buy cotton candy? It's not the same it's not the same parasha. Your kid, yes, my kid not. So if he calls up and he says, there's no greens, but there's bluin, 2,152 pounds. You sent me for a cucumber, but there's no cucumber. There was this in the store. So what happens? Why would he call up? So on the one hand, Rabbanan say, he's calling up because obviously it's very different. He said cucumber. You don't know if a pumpkin is a cucumber. So you're calling up to make you want to know, is that okay? Rabbi Akiva says no. If he's calling up, that's in the same parsha. Otherwise, there's no hava meat. He's not going to buy you a drink instead of meat. The two separate things. Zog the Gemara. Abaye Omar afilu Tamer Rabbi Akiva. What's the connection? That you're talking about in terms of this. Not anointed min hayorok. If a person says I'm not going to eat any greens, he's on the Atkins diet. No vegetables, only meat, only protein. Chas v'sholom to have a single vegetable. Mutar b'tluin. He's allowed to eat pumpkins. Rabbi Akiva Iser. So that we explained. Shaila is if you make that phone call. Abaye Omar afilu Tamer Rabbi Akiva. Miloi boilim luchi. When it comes to vegetables, it comes to neder, not vegetables. When it comes to neder, it's very broad. A person says vegetables, so in terms of his neder, we have to include all vegetables. Even these crazy large pumpkins. They're in the family of vegetables. But when a person sends a shliach, there's no broad family. He says, buy me a cucumber, he means a cucumber. Is that what they call it in England? Are vegetables the same in England, or they have different names? Oh!
Here they're very small. Here you get a
No. But in America, it's a type of a cucumber, but it's a cucumber, yeah?
Cucumber's not yet.
No, I'm saying, do we have different names? Do you have different names in England? Everything's the same. Tomato, whatever. That's the same thing?
It's a tomato.
Vitamins. The tomatoes have vitamins.
Let's go.
Fine.
Cucumber
Yeah.
doesn't come in the plastic color. That's the main difference.
But they taste better here in Israel. Those small ones taste much better. Yeah. I'm telling you, even in America, my father-in-law runs around looking for those small. Yeah, fine. When they said this over, Abaye Svara, that look, when it comes to shlichos, it has to be exact, but when it comes to nedarim, it can be broader. There's families in nedarim. Abaye said the right thing. Why was Abaye's name Nachmeni? Either that was his exact name, and the reason why they called him Abaye was a Yosem, right? Asher b'chol Yerucham Yosem. He grew up by Rabbi Bar Nachmeni, so they couldn't call him Nachmeni. That was his stepfather's name. Or I'm saying Nachmeni didn't want to call him Rabba. Rabba didn't want to call him Nachmeni because that was his own father. So Kitzer, he called him Abaye, which is like father. He had Nachmeni's name, so he said, father Abaye. But anyways, he said a good thing. Mantana the Polygalei de Akiva, who's the one that's Mechulik Reb Shimon Gamlieli, the Sanya. Here comes the raya for my wife. Hanoidim in abasar, if somebody makes a net, he's not going to eat meat. Also b'chol mini basar, he can't eat any kind of meat. What does that mean? He can't even eat venison. He can't eat chayas. He can't eat behemoths. He can't eat large, small, all types. V'asa b'roish u'beraglaim. We learned in Chulin, when you sell a regal, you get the roish together with it, right? It's the garbage. Nobody wants it. It's for the soup. You put it in, you don't need it. Bakana, who's going to eat a trachea? Ubakaved, liver, ubalev, and a heart. V'asur b'bsar oifos. And he's asur to eat chicken. Umutar b'bsar dogim chagavim. Fish is not included in meat, and certainly not grasshoppers. Reb Shimon Gamliel mater b'rosh u'berglaim, bakano bakaved, uba'oifos b'dogim chagavim. V'chein Reb Shimon Gamliel. Okay, next. We're not going to say that line. The innards, liver is not meat. And those who eat it, lav barinish, they're not humans. They're not human beings. What's pshat? Mamish, checkmate. Zok Tosfos, unbelievable. What does it mean you're not a human being if you eat it? It says Tosfos that if you go to the store and you say, give me liver, and you come home and it's spoiled, and you come back to the guy and say, I want my money back. The guy says, I'm not giving you your money back, and he's right up your halacha, because you're not human. The reason why you bought the liver, you bought the liver for your dogs, says Tosfos. And dogs could eat that spoiled liver. Meilah, you don't have a claim. This is a Mefurish Gemara like my wife. They're not humans. I'm not going to serve them dog food at my bar mitzvah. Unbelievable.
What if the covet changed and that's what we were thinking?
Yeah. Obviously, that's going to be my teretz. I'm just trying to give her. Of course, today Nishtanu, people love it. Innards. People pay good money for what is it called? The bread. What is it called? Murav Yerushalmi. What is it called in English? Sweetbreads. Sweetbreads.
In England, you could never get them.
They call it sweetbreads in England also. People they eat all sorts of lungs and this and that.
You could never get liver anymore.
For real?
Yeah.
It's a disgusting thing that the government doesn't allow it.
No, the shop could steal it. That's not true.
He's kidding. Well, we need you to hear more. Yeah. No.
It's awful.
You're saying that they're not okay. Well, then Mishum the Rogel. So why is chicken included? Because even in our days today, people, especially in Israel, they call chicken, they call it meat, basarov. Mishum the Rogel inish the Amalei Ashkechi Bisro the Chivasa. I couldn't find meat from an animal. Va'asoi Bisro the Tzipar. Yochi Hachinami Ovid inish lemeimro le'ashkechi Bisro the Chivasa va'asoi dogim. Sometimes people say, I brought fish meat. So he has to come on to interesting. It's talking about the day of the bloodletting. The loy ochal inish dogim, as the Gemara explains, that it's not good to eat fish on a day of akaza. So then why does a person make a neder about a bird? He doesn't need to, because Shmuel says the mesuka of ochal tzipara, if a person has bloodletting from his shoulder and he eats chicken, parach libek tzipara, his heart will flutter like a bird. So Meilah, he doesn't have to swear that he's not going to eat it. It shouldn't be included in his neder. V'oi tanya, ema kizin dam lo yal dogim v'lo yal oifois v'lo yal basam reliach. And it says also that you should not do akozas adam when you're going to eat fish, chicken, and salty meat. Elomar papa biyoyma the chayven le'enu askinu. It's talking about a day that his eyes hurt him. And Meilah the loyachal dogim. That's why only fish is not good for him, but chicken is included in his neder. Should we just go 2 more lines? Get to the Mishnah? Zok the Mishnah. So it's a very interesting shayla. If a guy sends out a shliach and says, buy me half an acre, a half a dunam, whatever you guys call it, and he buys him a whole dunam, is a half included in the whole? Or maybe since he didn't listen to the shlichos, batal the shlichos, and that's the shayla that we have over here. Because chatzi share included now. Oh, gevaldik, thanks, saving me, shkoyach. So, very smart. Omar Rav Sheishes, the Omar Shliach Torah Achas Midaitoi Vachas Midaitoi. So what happened by us? So the Gemara is asking Shaila. The guy sent him to give 1 piece of meat, and he gave 2. You see that 1 is included in 2. You don't say the shlichus is mevutal. You say he was over on the shlichus on that 1 piece. No, what happened was the shliach ruined it by messing up the dibur. He says, take 1. That's what my shlichus was. Now, in addition to that, I'm making a new shlichus. V'achas medaiti. Mao the same. By saying the second statement, he ruined his entire shlichus completely. That he didn't ruin his shlichus, and he's chayav. Have a gewaldige day. Welcome, Rav David.
If you say, go get me meat, and he gets you covered, included in the meat, he's still your shliach, still included. And you
Well, that's what we're saying.
That would be a raya why it's mutter to put it out of bar mitzvah, because it's included in the